I came to confess my love to the doctor I secretly adored, but what I saw in the bathroom shattered my heart. You ever rehearse a confession in the mirror for so long, only for life to slap you in the face with a truth you never saw coming? That was me, Elijah Rivers, 24, Omega, hopelessly in love with someone who'd never even asked if I had a ride home. It started exactly 3 months ago, on a Tuesday like any other, when I passed out from dehydration in the middle of a cramped library cubicle at Columbia Med. I woke up to a scent I couldn't place, cedarwood and something warm, and a voice that made my heart skip. "Hey, easy," he'd said, laying a cool hand on my forehead. "You're safe." Dr. Nathan Calloway, 31, Alpha, ER physician, resident legend, and carved from the kind of grace that made the world around him hush. He had gentle hazel eyes and the kind of smile that made you believe in better days. I should have known then that falling for him was a cliff-edge proposition. From that day forward, I made excuses to stop by the ER even when I didn't have rotations there. I memorized his coffee order. I once stayed an extra hour just to hand him a pen he left behind. Pathetic? Maybe. But when you're an Omega born to a Beta family in conservative Nebraska, dreaming is all you've ever really been allowed. My friends told me to give it up. Nathan was straight, they said, or maybe taken. He was too perfect, too distant. But they didn't see the way he looked at me sometimes. Like I mattered. Like he remembered. So I made a plan. July 18th. His birthday. I would walk into St. Luke's with a box of his favorite cinnamon pastries and a letter I'd rewritten 17 times. No more secrets. I was going to tell Dr. Calloway that he had my heart. I arrived just after 8 p.m. Rain pelting my jacket, palms damp even without the storm. The hospital was quiet, half asleep in the summer gloom. I took the elevator up to the on-call rooms, where I knew he usually showered after long shifts. I was humming nervously, repeating his name under my breath. Nathan, Nathan, Nathan. Then I heard it, low laughter, followed by the sound of a faucet turning off. I paused outside the bathroom door, heart pounding. The voices were muffled, but unmistakably male. Then came the clincher. Nathan's voice, deep and playful. "You're gonna get us caught." My blood ran cold. Slowly, I pushed the door open an inch. Just enough. Steam clung to the tiled walls. The scent of cedar and musk was stronger here. Inside, Nathan stood shirtless, damp towel slung low on his waist. His arms wrapped tightly around a man I recognized, Dr. Luis Ortega, the new cardiology resident. They were kissing like they'd waited years to do it. Nathan's hands gripped his waist. Luis whispered something that made Nathan laugh again. And just like that, my fantasy cracked into 1,000 pieces on the linoleum floor. I stumbled back, nearly dropping the pastries. I must have made a noise, because the next second the door burst open behind me. "Elijah!" Nathan's voice. Concerned. Confused. I didn't wait. I ran. Heartbreak is never cinematic. It's cold, petty, clumsy. Mine involved crying on the one train, ruining my jacket with soggy pastries, and ghosting every group chat for 2 weeks. I avoided the ER. I skipped campus lunches. I didn't even check if Nathan texted, which he did. Several times. "Hey, are you okay? Did something happen? Talk to me." What was I supposed to say? "Hi, I'm in love with you, and I found out you're taken." Or maybe worse, you're casual with someone else and I meant nothing. I wanted to hate him. I tried. But love is cruel. Every time I saw his name on a hospital bulletin or heard his voice down a hallway, something inside me flinched and softened all at once. 2 weeks later, Luis found me behind the hospital garden during a night shift. I was on call, trying to catch some air. "You saw us," he said, not unkindly. I didn't deny it. He sat beside me, exhaling slowly. "Nathan's not the villain here, Elijah. And neither am I. We are complicated." I didn't want to hear it, but I stayed quiet. "He never told me about you. But when he talked about someone who made him coffee last week and slipped in a poem on a napkin, I knew it was you." I froze. "He kept the poem?" Luis nodded. "He doesn't keep anything." I almost laughed. "That damn poem. It was about stars and courage and how sometimes you don't know if you're dreaming or sinking. I was both. Luis turned to me. Talk to him. I shook my head. I'm not the type people stay for. Luis gave me a sad smile. You'll be surprised. July 28th. 10 days after the worst day of my life. I walked into the hospital cafeteria, heart armored in sarcasm and one too many shots of espresso. Nathan was there, seated alone, nursing a tea. He looked up, startled. Hope flickered across his face. Then doubt. Elijah. Hi, I said. He gestured to the seat. I sat. A beat of silence. I'm sorry, he began. For what you saw. For not telling you. For everything. I shook my head. You don't owe me anything. You weren't mine. He leaned in, eyes bright. But I wanted to be. He paused, voice trembling. I didn't know you felt the same. And I'd been seeing Luis casually, but it wasn't serious. We ended it. I frowned. But you kissed him. I kissed him because I was lonely and stupid and didn't think you'd ever look at me the way I looked at you every time you handed me coffee. I laughed bitterly. You're a terrible communicator. I am, he agreed. But I'm a great listener. If you tell me there's still a chance. I hesitated. My heart had scars now. But damn it, it still beat for him. There's a chance, I whispered. Nathan reached out, brushing his fingers against mine. Let me prove I can be better. The hospital lights flickered. Somewhere, a nurse laughed. The world kept moving. But in that moment, something settled in me. Not a fantasy. Something real. We spent the next 3 months rebuilding, not rushing. Dates at the diner near campus. Walks through Riverside Park. Real conversations, filled with awkward truths and quiet dreams. When he finally kissed me on our 4th official date, it wasn't desperate or showy. It was gentle, measured, like he wanted to memorize the shape of my soul before asking to keep it. I asked him once, months later, what made him stop kissing Luis that day. He looked at me and said, because I heard your footsteps. And suddenly, none of it made sense anymore. I didn't get the perfect confession. But I got something better. I got the truth, the pain, the healing, and a love built not on illusion but on choosing each other anyway. And thank you for listening. If you find it interesting, please like and subscribe to follow the next stories.